You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Happy Christmas and Merry New Year! I hope you are all doing well and are healthy in this crazy, crazy time that we are effing living in. Oh my goodness, I wish I could not ever use this word again, but you already know what's going to happen. And though we were gifted with Tuesday football, it was for all the wrong reasons. So, the landscape is changing drastically, and there's plenty to get into, so take a deep breath, let's woo-saw, and let's try to get through this thing together. So here is another 2-hour debacle known as Detroit Sports Radio Rebels. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of our DSR2. It is our Christmas extravaganza special, I guess, maybe. I don't know. We'll get into that.
Oh, Jesus.
With it, we got lots here to talk about. As we said, is I hate to say it, but it's COVID on there. Again, we'll get into the NFL, basically rescheduling games around, getting two Monday games, 2 Tuesday games. Let's see what happens this week as well. We got at least one bowl game has already been canceled. It's the Gator Bowl. Texas A&M was withdrawn since majority of their players all have COVID.
It's going to change the landscape potentially of the tournament, the championship the playoff or whatever. So it's just it's the inside of a diaper right now. Is really what it is right now. It's just a diaper. I don't know what to say. I feel like I could just run the tape back from just about any time in the last couple of years. Yeah. And we were talking about the same shit over and over again. Look, like we all know, what's going on here, and it's maddening to a certain extent because you know it's not it's good. We're going to continue to go through this as long as we have like this huge group of that's pushing back, and so not to get into whether you should get yourself vaccinated or not, because that ultimately is a personal choice, and I've always been a pro-choice individual. Like, I can't tell you what to do, but the hypocrisy runs deep. It's kind of funny. So that I can't ever reconcile that. So like, as much as you have I'm pro-choice, you can't be a hypocrite about it. And unfortunately, a lot of people are. A lot of people aren't educated on what's going on here, and it's leading to more and more problems. And the other issue is it's just a nightmare anyway. You're talking about a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, where these things keep changing and mutating and moving, mainly because we haven't been doing things to effectively stop the spread.
Right.
So just in layman's terms, I'll dumb it down for you because I didn't get it, and I had to talk to somebody that I trust that's in the medical field, and it's really simple. When a virus is able to spread, it can mutate during the spread, and that's what causes the mutations, right? So now you're seeing all these variants because it's a mutation. Why?
Right.
Because we're just spreading it. So the more that we spread it, the more it will mutate. The less our vaccines will work, and the harder this will become. It's really that simple.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, for me, if you don't have a medical reason not to get it, then I just don't understand what you're doing. Because if you've ever taken aspirin or whatever, then you've put stuff in your body that you don't know what it is. If you drank Pepsi or Coca-Cola or whatever, you can't tell me what's in that. I guarantee you can't tell me what's in it without grabbing the can and reading it off. So you're going to tell me that you know what you're putting in, and you know what I'm saying? You know what's in your foods, all the have you seen the size of the chickens you're getting?
They're the size of basically turkeys now.
Do you know what makes you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, to be so staunch and so fanatical about something that is so quite hypocritical is hard to muster and hard to swallow. So that's why we can't have that conversation about the vaccinations. What we have to have a conversation about is the reality of the matter is that if you fall into a certain category, then you're going to have to deal with certain things. And that's just the way life's going to be for you. So like for me, I saw all this coming. We all knew this. I've been talking.
Yeah, I've been
talking about it on this show since the day they shut this goddamn state down. That at some point in time, there would be vaccinations and they would be mandatory. Just like they did for your kids when they went to school when they were younger, back in the 70s and all that other stuff, because you're combating polio and measles and all these other things. And so, you go. So that these things were mandatory to keep the kids safe, and so what's the difference now? I know you think, everything infringes upon your rights, but that's not what this is about. It's, so you take your politics out of it, and we got to talk about the fact that these guys are going to be in contact with each other. And if they're not doing all the things that they need to do to protect themselves, whether it's masking, whether it's social distancing, whether it's, vaccinations, whatever the case may be, then they're going to be susceptible to these goddamn regulations. At my day job, starting January 4th, if you're not vaccinated, you will have to be tested every single week at your expense.
Right.
Every week. So every Friday when you get off work, you got to stop and go get a thing jammed into your brain and get your test results back before you come into work on Monday.
Right. And insurance is not going to be paying for every single one from
No, they're going to cover probably a couple of them, and then they're going to wonder why you're taking them so much. And then they're going to ask your employer, and they're going to tell you, well, it's CDC, it's federal regulations, it's this, that, and the other thing. And then you're going to be coming out of pocket for every one of them. And I'm telling you, if you find a cheap place, it'll be $50.
Right.
So you can just go ahead and pluck $50 out of your paycheck every week plus whatever time you take to go up there and do that, or go get a free vaccine.
Yeah, I know. Like one of the local grocery store chains, national wise, is they plain and simple said if you're non-vaccinated and you get COVID, we're not giving you we're not going to give you paid time off.
Do you see what happened in Chicago and Illinois? If you're not vaccinated, you're not allowed to be inside public buildings.
Well, I mean, New York City's like that right now.
Yeah.
You want to go to you want to go travel to New York? Better be vaccinated because
Yeah.
you can't even get into your hotel room.
Yep.
Oh, you gonna stop at a Starbucks and get a coffee?
Nope.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go to New York? I would never go to New York for New Year's Eve to begin with.
Yeah, that's
but
insane.
especially now, hell no. I
Oh,
mean, I'm
fuck
not
no.
standing 18 hours basically with a diaper on there because they don't even have porta potties there.
Yeah. No. Fuck that.
Click.
Yeah.
Watch on TV.
Yeah, no, my whole thing, the New Year's Eve thing was cool to party with your friends when you were a young man. And if you want to get together and have beverages, or maybe but pre-pandemic, you'd go out and have some drinks with your lady or something like that. Like, cool. But that whole trying to, get down to an insane asylum like, Times Square on New Year's Eve. Man, that shit died when I was in my 20s probably.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think even in my 30s I would have necessarily maybe my early 30s because I was pretty ballsy, but
Early 30s, we did Toronto for New Year's Eve.
see, that's a little bit. It's a one notch back.
It's just barely a notch back
Yeah.
because Toronto. I mean,
No,
yeah,
they're happening. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
8 million, 9 million people
Oh,
are in Toronto,
Yeah,
so it's a big happening spot.
It's no doubt.
We did that on there, and it was a little bit more laid back, and because it's Canada, so they're just more laid back to begin with it. But yeah, we did that one. But now I'm my mid 50s. Oh hell no!
Yeah.
Especially this year, don't even bother me. Don't even talk to me from basically 7:30 to 11:30 because I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's so great. That's great. I'm leaving Rebecca. I'm leaving your house at 7:15 because I'm going to be home by 7:30 to watch football game.
I know, right?
What's that? No, I don't care if it's her 30th birthday. She's my niece and everybody. Again, guess what? No.
Yes. Yeah. When you get to a certain age, you just get to that crotchety point where it's like, no, I'm doing what I'm doing because I've done everything.
I've waited
else.
17 freaking years for this to happen. Damn it, I'm gonna.
Well, when it comes to the Michigan game and all that scenario, because it's so hard to get into the playoff, and because we've been so blah
Down.
for so
Yeah.
long, it does feel like a big deal. And I've been treating it like that, to be honest. I've been treating it like the last 4 Michigan, well, really since the Michigan State game, it's been about every Michigan game there on out. And when they lost to State, it was like, all right, you had to see what happens. And we went on the airwaves. I was pissed.
Yeah.
We were mad. This is it. If you don't run the table and take the Big Ten title and get in the playoff, what are we doing here?
Right.
And we were mad. And we were very staunch about that.
I've been up front on there for the last couple of years.
So we've been very staunch about that. It's particularly this year with this run, and I've been watching every game. Let's see what this is the game, because quite frankly, we don't have another team in Michigan right now, professional or otherwise, that's got anything of value. You know what I mean? So to be able to have these games is nice. So I don't want it to get thrown in a tizzy. Okay, cool. You get a cheap pop. Now, I don't know if you guys know, we were talking in the pregame here that they're going to forfeit games if you can't field enough healthy players when it comes to this playoff. And there's multiple consequences to this. And yeah, you might be happy with a cheap victory and get to a championship round or whatever, or even play a depleted team and have your guy win a title. I'm not even, and have your team win a title. I'm not even mad about that if you're all right with that. And I might even be, it's not like I'd turn it down, but I just don't want it to, I don't want it to get messed up, man. We're in it. I don't want it to be an asterisk near it. I want this thing to roll through and win, lose, or draw. I want a good championship.
Yeah, which is weird because the NCAA said for all the other bowl games, if one of the teams can't play, we'll try to reschedule it for like a week later and go from there. But the playoffs, that's it. It's hard line. And if you can't play, then too bad.
Well,
Which is weird on there.
I think what it boils down to is the sponsors for those other bowls want certain things going on, and those TV deals may be more flexible than the TV deals you're talking about with these, right, and the sponsorship deals with this stuff. You have to follow through. My thing is how, no matter what you, and this is the other deal, the logistics of moving that back from a hotel.
Oh yeah,
the logistics of all that, of all the people, players, personnel, everything that goes into staffing that whole circus is astronomical.
Right.
You are not going to just simply go, okay, everybody that's booked in the days after that, you're all fucked.
Right.
Because we're moving everything, and it's all about what the NCAA wants. So I think that's where they're standing. They're like saying, hey, look, like, we don't really have a choice. We're not going to eat all this money and then have nowhere for anybody to go and no way to house these games if we move them. Because the logistics of doing that is a nightmare. It's not like they're doing it in a stadium that they own. It's not like it's home team and a regional opponent. You know what I'm saying? This is a national event.
Yeah,
that people come down.
And I think
for.
Again with that aspect, because again, like you can reschedule the Boise, Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yeah, because nobody gives
Boise.
a shit.
I mean, how many people are going to go to Boise to begin with?
When you got the Mr. Clean toilet bowl, it's super easy.
Yeah, going into downtown Miami on there with it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck on that one. Especially when the heat, basically all the snowbirds are moving down there.
Well, shit, dude.
But if your team and you're in one of the 4 teams in the playoffs, your best bet is just listen, guys. We're going into a self-imposed bubble,
right?
Till after the damn championship game, or after until we lose.
Yeah, right.
And then we go from there. But I think again, that's what you're going to have to do. Is just like listen. When we get down to their destination, we're leaving the day after. We're going to stay together as a team. We're in a hotel as a team. We go to the practice as a team. Guess what, guys? We're going to try to keep everybody isolated as possible to just eliminate or just minimize your chances for exposure.
Well, I wonder if the investment in the NCAA saying we're going to put in a bubble, we're going to institute a bubble now, due to all this stuff going on, we're going to do a full bubble.
Yeah. I think that's what they need to do for the for the 4 teams in the playoffs.
Kind of all of the NBA there. And just do it for this so they can get through this game. Because not only is it logistically like impossible to do all this stuff, if you don't play your bowl game, you don't get that money.
Right. And then for like the teams that are like in say
the top
Michigan,
4 bowl games.
Say whoever gets to the championship game on there, you're playing 2 games. That's probably a $20 million windfall.
Right.
That you're losing out on.
Sure. And then all the residual money that kind of comes from being in those games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the merchandising and all that other stuff that kind of trickles in because of it.
Right. Because we've seen it right now with the NHL. I mean, NHL, which is, I think, only one unvaccinated player in the whole NHL. And that's the Wayne Styler Bertuzzi.
Why?
And they have to shut down, too, because guys are catching without, basically breakthrough cases. And again, nobody's really seriously.
Well,
it's
ill, but they just try to minimize that.
They're trying to minimize and trying to get it control. And again, don't be surprised Canada may just go lock down again and say, that's that.
I don't doubt it. And Canada and the NHL have been way ahead of this compared to what we do here.
Yeah.
They're way more proactive. And so, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what the situation is getting into Canada. I know
they brought the testing back, and you have to be vaccinated to get into Canada, period.
Right. Which is cool. I'd love to get over there. But my issue was, I know getting over here, it's not as big a deal. I just wasn't sure what it was like getting over there.
Yeah, they brought back. They took away the testing a couple weeks ago. They said we don't need it now. They're like, testing's back on again. Because again, you're getting 7,000 new cases a day.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, it's no fun, but I would much rather be safe than sorry. But that's the situation we're going to deal with, and it's going to be the same thing with these other leagues. They're going to start Like, they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, you got college basketball games are getting canceled and postponed on there. The NBA's got games canceled, postponed. NFL's got games rescheduled and so forth with it.
The NFL is going to, they were, you know what? This is the thing with the NFL. I feel like they'll do what they've kind of always done and just push through it like a fucking bulldozer.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the right way to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hasn't worked to this point, and so I don't know why we're doing it again. But yeah, there's definitely going to be multiple changes. The only saving grace for the NFL was that they're with no college football, and it's obviously no baseball, and the NHL is going to fold up and take a break for a little while, at the very least. The NFL's got all kinds of room.
Right. They can maneuver around it.
So they're just going to steamroll right through this.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the NCAA is they're thinking the same thing. Look, we essentially got a handful of flipping games. Did you hear that? Look at her.
Yeah.
She's tripping. We got
our mascot's tripping balls.
Yeah, we got our cat here, and I don't know what's going on, man.
Catnip junkie over there.
Over here, yeah. We've got a couple of mascots here. I want to say adopted, but we kind of did. I think we kind of more, acquired them. Oh, should have known that guy was coming. Yeah. That was a big reveal, actually, for their company. He was just in the rival company a week ago. And they're gonna it's funny because all these guys had individual contracts, and then all these guys left and went to the other company, and they're all there together now. So anyway.
But yeah, we got all this going on there, and it's like weird with it. I mean, it was great to watch football, Ford, seriously.
Yes, that's what she does. She wants attention.
4 days over the weekend it was on it. But yeah, you're going to be...
You can't... I don't know how they're going to... Like I said, they're just going to try to plow through, but I don't know. The NFL's got a long way to go, really, if you think about it. I mean,
yeah.
When does the Super Bowl traditionally end? It's what, February, right?
I think it's second weekend in February.
So what is it now? So you're talking for the next 3 months while this stuff's going on. You think you're just gonna plow through like it's no?
Yeah, we gotta give it through. There's three games left in the regular season still before you get to the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. I don't know what to say.
Joe Pearl said, he goes, the key to the Cincinnati staying healthy and honor is the lack of nightlife in Cincinnati. See, there goes something to say about playing in some place that's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably the one that's like, hey, we got nobody on COVID because it's boring.
Yeah, we can't. No one ever leaves the house. We've been social distancing since the 70s.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. That's too silly. So yeah, in the NBA, I mean, how many games in are we?
About what? Third of the way through or a quarter of the way through? And
yeah, I mean,
it's like,
so if they're 25 games in, something like that.
Yeah.
So to an 84, I don't know, man. I just think that they're going to have to do something too. And that you're not even talking about their playoffs. That playoffs is
no.
How long is the NBA playoffs? I mean, it could be pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Especially now with the play-in situation.
And now we got the NHL is basically off for at least till after New Year's.
Yeah, but we already know what they'll do.
They already said is that they're not going to the Olympics, so we're just going to make up the games in February, which was no game schedule.
All right. So, and then, and if they have to, they'll just separate, right? They don't care.
Yeah.
So, and they'll just kind of do whatever. So it's weird, kind of how it's been handled differently from each league. But for some dumbass reason, baseball's been lucky. A lot of it has to do with the fact that it's an outdoor game, but
And it's basically people more outside during
Yeah.
the summer. And it's not as basically you don't have 70,000 fans in the stands like the NFL does every
Right.
week. Under you're getting
sure,
maybe top 50,000.
yeah.
But again, like you
Shit,
play-
most of those day games are 20,000.
if that,
Yeah.
especially the early day games on there
Yeah.
that are before school lets out, you're lucky you get 15,000 people in a stadium that seats like Comerica 42,000.
All right.
You could go wherever you want. You're not within 6 feet anyways.
Yeah.
With it. But yeah, it's just the point is like, come on. And then we got, Beasley on there basically saying, "Oh yeah, I'm tested positive, but it's not my fault. It's the NFL. It's the system.
I know.
It's not the disease. It's the system.
It's not the virus. It's the system.
No,
it's, like,
it's because you're a tool and you made it be about you. And now again, if it costs your team a win and they don't get a seed in the playoffs, what happens if they didn't get knocked out of the playoffs?
to me, if he did everything right and everything he was supposed to do and did all the right things, and then it came up messed up and he couldn't play, he would have an argument. But you can't like do whatever you want, and not do what you're supposed to do, and then it's not my fault. It's a system. No, everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do. You can't. I just don't understand.
Yes.
I just don't understand how you come up with that philosophy. But, hey, look, it's just like anything else. My day job, we're 80% vaccinated, and you're still having people pop up. So, but they're almost all non-vaccinated. So, I don't know. Do what you got to do to take care of yourself, and that I think is the point that I'm trying to get at. Is that you got to do what's right for you, and you got to take care of yourself, and then you got to weigh out what's important to you here. Do you want to be able to have, because they're going to find a way to, we saw it already. We'll put replacement players out there with the NFL. That's how they're going to end up dealing with it.
Yeah. Look at with the injuries and other, they'll just find the next guy up.
Yeah.
Our own Detroit Lions are on their fifth string running back, and he goes off for all. Back-to-back 100-yard games are like, shit.
Yeah. But, it's one of those things where it kind of, you're going to have that. We had some surprises. Even in that Washington game, in the end, Philly ran away with it. But early on,
yeah,
it was a pretty competitive game. It was all right. And we're seeing right now more than ever that we've had maybe we'll attribute it to the extra regular season game and how long the season really kind of seems right now. But you're seeing more and more running game than you've seen since they've changed the rules in the favor of receiving.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think it's one
like,
thing is what helps you out easy on there is obviously it's easier to find a replacement running back because it's almost instinctively.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about game planning, dude. There's every week we've got a quarterback that throws less than 20 passes and they win because they run for 300 yards.
Right. And you know what it is, and I think that's an easier way to game plan things for that. And you know what's one thing, what's two ways to always win no matter what, especially you go on the road. Right. You can run the ball and play defense.
Yeah, of course.
Those travel.
Yeah.
If you do both of those, your chances, especially late in the season with the weather and all that on there, and maybe the other team's low, basically on there, you can pull a game off. Team doesn't take you seriously. Guess what? If you're playing defense and run the game, you're going to sneak up and bite them in the ass. Look at us here. The Lions here this weekend.
Right.
There is no way that the Lions should have won that game on paper against Arizona.
No.
Especially with the amount of guys they had out and everything. You go, all right, Arizona's a 13.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
And they got their asses handed to them by the freaking Lions.
Well, what happens is, and let's not get it twisted, they had issues as well, too. It wasn't just Detroit that had guys out.
Yeah, they had guys out, too. But still, who they had on still playing versus us is they had a lot more talent we did. And obviously they took us slightly. I think more so than anything on there. And this team, basically, the Lions came out and won.
Yeah, well, what it boils down to is, they were taken light. I really feel like they were taken lightly. And then when they got into a fight, it was too late. Yeah. Like, they couldn't, they couldn't get
come
back.
And on there.
I got a cat.
Cat's psychotic tonight.
So I got I what it is okay. So you have an extra game this season, and the war of attrition has been, I think, more glaring. You've got the COVID protocols and all these things, and all these other players stepping up. So what's happening is you're having cats that are coming in, playing for teams that you not only cannot game plan for, but they're fresh.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't played, 8 games or 10 games or 6 games or whatever already of an NFL season. And so now, and because of that, there's 2 things that happen. One, you get good performances out of them, they're but rested. But 2, it's much easier to come up to speed with defense, running game, those kind of hustle stuff, as opposed to like getting the schemes down to, run these routes and timing and all that stuff. I mean, the NFL is turned into like 80% timing routes.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's a little hard to do right off rip. So if you could effectively run the ball, then that's kind of what I think you're seeing. So I think it's like this melting pot of all that stuff happening. That's why we're seeing this like uptick in the running game, and it seems to be substantial. And it's not really like the passing game is dropping off incredibly. It's just when it comes to it's just the attempts are down, right? Like it's not like these guys aren't getting yardage at the end of the year, but you just see these weird games where they come in and they're throwing 12 passes, 20 passes. What New England threw 3 passes in the whole game that one time. So.
Yeah, I mean, we look at Philly running for over 200 yards again, and that's how they're winning.
Right, and when 100 of it comes from your quarterback,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those wild kind of times where all those stars align, and you're getting crazy, and so that's why you're getting that weird play. You're getting these upsets. You're getting all that. And guys, if you're into the wagertainment, as they call it, and you're out there putting money on it, as we do our. Man, you guys got a set of them right now because you got to have steel cojones to bet right now with with all those things that I'm talking about that are out there.
Yeah, look
at the over unders and it's just all this stuff's been blown out of the water.
I think they said with the Lions beating Arizona, it was like the first time in NFL history at like week 15 where you had a 10-win team lose to a 1-win team who was favored by 13 or more than 10 points and lose by more than 2 touchdowns ever. It was one of those weird stats.
Yeah, it's a statagami or whatever.
With it, but yeah, you're gonna see that more and more option with it. And you're gonna definitely see is like when they go do an 18-game schedule, because it's gonna happen. Yep. We're not saying if, it's when.
Yeah, it's just inevitable.
You're gonna have to expand the rosters under. I think they're gonna have to go again next year. They may go up to regular 55 or 56 man, but once they go to 18-game, I can see it's 60 to 65 man rosters.
Well, I got one for you. How about this? So they're going to add the extra game, 18. They're going to add an extra bye week.
Yep.
They're going to expand the rosters.
Yep.
So you're going to get a little bit more money. We already talked about it. They already did that as far as dropping the testing for pot.
Yeah.
They already said
we're not going
to test for it. So we knew that was coming. So they already did that part of it. And this is all part of the chain reaction that's going to be that. Then they're going to stretch this thing out. But they got to figure out their schedule and how they're going to do it. And then I think it'll be, I think it'll be in line with something that you're starting to see already with like how the NBA does stuff. So you're going to start seeing sponsorships on jerseys and all that, because they've got to fund this expansion, and they're going to do that because they might ultimately add franchises to the league, and that may not be anytime in the immediate future. In fact, it shouldn't be, but I think the NFL but pre-pandemic had plans for expansion, within the next 2 decades.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't think that they want to get away from that per se.
No.
Canada Mike's checking in, and it's nice to hear from you before the holidays, Canada Mike.
And I think you're going to see more. You're going to see a lot more teams with multiple running backs on there. You're going to see more running back committees to that on there because, again, for a single guy to be a workhorse for an 18-game schedule, no way in hell.
No.
It's going to be you're going to see guys with more of a committee-wise option where you're going to have 2, maybe 3 guys running the ball.
It's going to make fantasy football very interesting because the way rotations will have to be for maintenance days and injuries. And so I think you're going to, if you're a fantasy owner, or really if you're the GM or whatever of a fantasy league, you're going to be busy with, they're going to have to do something to adjust for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll, and they will, because all this stuff's going to be funded by this gambling that's going on right now. So all the big, FanDuel and all them cats, you're going to see them everywhere, and they're going to be the ones that's going to fund this expansion.
Did you hear how much the casinos pay? You hear how much the casinos paid? I think it's either the city of Detroit or just in taxes for November, just to the city of Detroit.
I can only imagine.
$108 million.
That's crazy. I can't get this cat off me. It won't get down.
It's psychotic tonight.
It's like, look, I'm trying to push her down. She's like, no, I don't want to get down.
So we got all that going on. Also is we called it last week. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't expect like 1 o'clock in the morning that night. Urban Meyer got fired.
That Pervin Liar, I think, is probably more of an appropriate name for him than Urban Meyer.
Gives me great joy. Because
the only thing that would have been better is if it happened right after the segment, because it was basically 8 hours later or 12 hours later.
Well, actually, they fired him. They basically it was out there.
Oh,
at
they
1
knew when we were talking. Yeah,
so they already knew they were firing him. He just got released at 1 a.m. I mean, it's like. Trevor Lawrence goes, I didn't find out till I saw a message when I woke up the next morning.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got new.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, talk about an unmitigated disaster. Unmitigated disaster.
As far as historic dumpster fires,
he's number one.
It's gotta be.
He's worse than Bobby Petrino. Even.
That's what I'm saying.
And Petrino is a scumbag on there who quit via text message.
Yes.
On there, he even had 3 wins when he quit.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even gonna.
Urban got fired.
I'm not even gonna measure the victories. That's not even. I can't even take that into account. When you win that little, the victories you get, that doesn't even come into play to me. You know what I'm saying? It's all about everything else. It's like the Lions. Okay, they suck and they're terrible and they're not going to have a lot of wins, but at least they're playing for the guy still.
Yes. So that's the one thing you can say is it's like, the Lions suck, Jacksonville sucks. What do you see the differences? These cats are literally playing their hearts out for Dan Campbell. Yeah. And Dan Campbell loves these kids anyways. He loves every player that plays for him. Yeah. He appreciates them working their asses off. Yes, we're not getting the wins, but there's that. Then you have this son's a bitch who's so freaking arrogant and conceited and freaking narcissistic as hell. It's not my fault. It's everybody around me's fault.
Right.
No, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Because you hired your staff and you're calling them all losers.
That guy was such a mess, dude. As a
Bevel
human
won
being.
a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator with Seattle, so don't call him a loser.
My question is, and I don't want to sound like I know everything or whatever, but how does not anybody realize what kind of creepy douche it's not about his coaching ability.
It's about this character.
He's such a shit human being.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
And how do you... I mean, I don't care what he did in college. How do you look at a guy who's never done anything in your business and say, okay, I'm willing to put everything on the line for that piece of shit?
Right. Well, we look on it. Remember, he stood when he was at Ohio State. He stood up for his assistant coach, who was basically habitual wife beater.
Right.
He stood up for him. He said,
Right.
"Oh no, he's a good guy." No, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then come on, we all forget about his days at Florida. I mean, there's all that. Again, as you posted on there.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that 30 for 30 by the 08 Gators.
Yeah, I'm telling
Damn it, there's something out there happening.
Yeah.
They got to be planning something on that right now.
Oh, they better be. I mean,
If
look
not,
at everybody that
we
was.
need to get out of
I mean,
on
everybody that was on that squad. That's insane. Insane.
with it, and the whole
do a
Aaron
Reservoir
Hernandez
Dogs.
and on it, with it on it. But yeah, but just to, I mean, literally, you lose and you don't fight back with a team. Oh, I'm gonna stick here, and then you go to a steakhouse and getting a lap dance from a co-ed.
Dude, what cracks me up is they all go back, yeah, and you just like slap on an Ohio State jersey and go to the club in Columbus or whatever, or Cincinnati or wherever the fuck you're at.
But here's the thing: he thinks he's getting paid. Jacksonville says no, we
No
fired
way.
him with cause.
Oh, they got cause.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, there's cause.
There's cause. It's you know what? And it's public record because we could just watch it all unfold.
Yes.
You know.
So again, you're not getting paid, man. You know that long contract on there.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You get up till the day you were fired, and that's all you got paid for, pal.
Yeah, they're gonna come up with some kind of deal.
I mean,
And
he'll
pay
never
him
get
out.
another NFL gig ever.
Nope.
It's done.
Yeah,
He's burnt that bridge to the ground. It's like roasting. What are you going to do? Get some marshmallows because that sucker's burning.
Yes,
hot.
it's still burning. The ground is still scorched earth behind it. It's still on fire. If you try to walk across it, it'll burn your feet.
Yes.
The bridge has
I don't
been
know
long gone.
if I'm a Power 5 conference, but I'm thinking I may want to just sit out a couple of years before him, see about him coming in.
Okay, this is what I got for you. I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole.
No.
I'm just not, because it's not even about whether the stink gets off him and people forget and they forgive and all this other shit. It's the simple fact that I could never trust the guy.
No.
You can't, and there's got to be a lot of trust for all the shit that they have to do because they run the whole effing show. And they have a lot of power over a lot of other stuff around the, involving the university. So it's just a too all-inclusive thing for one person to have to make those kinds of horrible decisions. That's what it boils down to. Like, I don't know anything about the man other than morally he makes some of the most terrible decisions I've ever seen from a public figure.
Oh, yeah.
And and then he gets caught up, and then the tapes that have come out, I mean, we've heard the audio. We know what this guy says and does.
Right. You
and how he
walk
acts.
into a gravy position. A team with some talent. You have a consensus number one pick quarterback, a franchise quarterback sitting there waiting for you.
Look, if you're going to be a college coach coming into an NFL program, that is probably one of the better options. It's not like Tampa's going to fire Bruce Arians and hire Urban Meyer.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You're not. Even the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to get rid of Tomlin for Urban Meyer.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of any. So, yeah, you're in one of those situations where that was probably about as good. You basically had a college quarterback there who might buy into the way you do things, and you messed it up.
Oh, God, yes.
You blew it. And you're messing him up. You're messing the team up. I mean, your attitude, the way you're doing things. Like, I don't know. Is that how he handles it at the college level? If that's how
it could be.
If that's how he handles it at the college level, I don't know how he's been this successful.
I mean, from what I heard is there was whispers coming out of Ohio State when he left. They're not.
I don't know how
they were not unhappy with him leaving.
This is my thing. I don't know how you get anybody to do anything for you when you act that way.
No.
And in this day and age, the way things are now, no. If in my shoot job, my day job, if my boss comes at me stupid like that, dude, I ain't doing it. What are you gonna do? Well, I'll just let you go. Okay, and
yeah, right. Good luck on that one.
And here's the shirt. What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, I'll find another job and I'll get more money.
Yeah, I'll just go somewhere else.
He's over on there with it, but especially with I mean, you need to basically soothe the egos. I mean, it's all about managing personalities and everything in people.
Right.
Yeah. And if you're a complete dick,
that's what I'm saying.
Guess what, man? It's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
I would rather have him.
You know how hard it is just to be a decent human. I mean, Belichick is squirrely and everything with it. And he treats that. But there's no way you ever hear anything about that with Belichick doing anything like the way he is.
Dude, we're at Bizarro World. He just went and apologized to the media for being short after the game.
I know. I mean, this is like weird.
I almost stuck my head out the window of a moving vehicle. I was like, what?
With it. And these people on there, especially, the guys that are bashing on Harbaugh. Guess what? Harbaugh went 44-19 in the NFL.
Yeah.
His first year, he went to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Second year, he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he went with the Super Bowl with Kaepernick, who y'all said couldn't play the position.
Right. He went to 3 NFC championships in his first 3 years.
Well, right. And that's why I thought we would have done a whole hell of a lot better earlier in his tenure.
Yeah. And now it's just, I think we did better in the first couple years, and they just kind of lost his way and lost out his enthusiasm. And now he's gotten that, and he seems to regain. He basically figured, I'm going to go back to what I was doing in the beginning and go from there. And that's where he's got success with. Quit doing these stupid gimmicks and all that, and just
don't outsmart yourself and don't be cute.
You know what? You're playing in the Midwest. You need to be a running football team with a pro action quarterback with some basic flexibility a little bit.
Well, it's all about it's all about the how the Big Ten plays and how you travel. You got to be able to win, though. I mean, in those other situations, you got to be able to play against those SEC style teams where it's up and down. So it is a bit of a hybrid. It's not as much, but yeah, in today's terms, it's definitely more of a running power game type situation. So that you see here in the Big Ten. So yeah, I get all that. But shoot, I mean, if Michigan fucking pulls this thing off, they've look at who they potentially could have bumped off. I mean, you're talking about all the SEC bigwigs.
Yes.
And so that kind of changes.
Yeah, if Michigan pulls this off and happens to win this damn thing. Listen, we didn't luck into this, man. We busted. Right. I mean, you can't have to go against Iowa. You have to beat Ohio State, then Iowa, and then you had Georgia and Alabama, possibly. Well, this is not this is not an easy task to do.
You look at the state game being a fluke at that point.
I think the state game was the best thing that ever happened to the team. Yeah. I think this refocused that team and said.
It feels like it.
Yeah. Said they lost the state, and again, statistically, they dominated that game.
Yeah.
It was like under possession and everything. Yeah, they basically couldn't stop Kenneth Walker because he got past broken place and everything with it, and they did that. Them beating State, I don't know if they beat Ohio State. That team got refocused. They came in there very businesslike against Indiana, win the Penn State, freaking hot, very hostile environment, night game, come back and win that one. They trucked Maryland, and then all of a sudden Ohio State came in, and the weather was perfect. It was cold, it was windy, there was snow. It was like, okay, we're going to run the ball.
Right.
And they can't stop us.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. And they stopped, they slowed. You can get your yards or whatever between the 20s, but once you get in the red zone, we're tightening it up, and you're not going to score a touchdown.
Well, and if there's ever a year for an off team to win it, it's this year. So, and if they go through Georgia and Bama, then we are not only the Big Ten and national champs, but as far as I'm concerned, we're the SEC champs too. Yeah. Because you ran through all the best of them too.
The best of the best.
So it's like, so that's kind of the way I kind of see that scenario. But all of that is very hard to do. So, and like I said, I don't want to see COVID be the reason all that shit got jammed
I want
up.
to see them get to these, and I want to see them play the games and everything with it. But yeah, for like the SEC West in it, it's not going to get any easier for Bama. Because you look at who's in the SEC, especially coaching now in the West and that, they're going to be, it's like when we said, look at the Big Ten East, man, they're great. But yeah, come November, they're going to kill each other. Right. This is what's going to happen in the SEC West now from year in, year out.
Yeah, they start eating each other,
They're going to start eating each other.
Yeah,
and
especially
no when you get Texas in there and Oklahoma, they're going to start eating each other.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? In the end, whoever comes out of that dust is going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'll be battle tested.
Yeah.
But then you don't blame now you know why Lane Kiffin said, I'm out of here. It's a lot easier to recruit and win out west.
Yeah, I think the recruiting in the with the new name and likeness situation is why a lot of these coaches are moving, because you're going to get a situation now where the playing field changes. It levels out in some cases and gets even. Because
you're seeing again like a Jackson State getting the number one recruit in the country.
Well, yeah,
that would never have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's because whatever. Who's Deion work for? Barstool.
Yeah,
that's because Barstool ponied up
1.5 mil.
Yeah, at least.
We all know what happened. Give me money. I need this kid on there. You know what? I need 1.5 mil. Okay, because we're making money hand over fist.
Yeah. So, and that's what's going to drive the expansion of the league. I mean, this is almost like a conspiracy when you sit back and start plugging all this shit together.
That's why you're going to see 12 teams in there, because it's going to be more balanced.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see cats out there, smaller schools, to be able to get a couple good recruits, because they're able to, if you've got rich alumni in the NIL deals on there. I mean, Brady announced, hey, I'm launching my own apparel line.
Yeah.
Guess who I'm going to use as one of my cats? Quarterback of Michigan, Kate McNamara.
Sure.
Signed him up. You got an NIL deal. Got to make sure those Michigan quarterbacks are taken care of.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to have big name alumni that own corporations and money, and they're just going to go, I want my school to be able to recruit, so I'm going to throw all this money, and you'll be able to. It'll be all about the university who can outbid.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be able to make more money in college.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's gonna be so stupid.
It's not like the old days at Florida State on there. Oh, you're gonna leave early? No, man, it's to be a pay cut.
Remember in the 70s where you'd be a garbage man during the day and play football at night? None of that.
I mean, it even happened at Michigan back in the 80s. And I seen Trip Wellborn driving a brand new 300Z. I'm thinking, how the hell did he get a 300Z, man? He's just a college kid on there. That's back in 1990. I'm like, that's a $30,000 car.
Yeah, but with
this custom U tripping.
Yeah.
I'm like, now it's all legal.
Yeah. Who be tripping now?
Anyway. With it. So yeah, we got on there, but we'll get into. We still got lots here to talk about.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And again, now you know why we suck so bad at pick'ems, because it's not our fault.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll blame everything but ourselves. It is our fault because
our fault.
We need to accommodate for these things. We need to account for this stuff and adjust. It's like shooting out. It's like shooting hoops outside. You gotta adjust for the wind.
Yes.
A little to the left, whatever you gotta do. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll adjust for the wind this week. I don't know. Because I don't care what you adjust for. Some of those upsets that we've seen this year, and especially with the Lions over the Cardinals this past week, it's hard. It's hard. Canada Mike, if you're still here, congratulations. You guys had a great CFL championship there.
Yes.
They really did. I watched the Western Finals. And I watched the the Grey Cup?
Yep.
I watched the final.
110 years or something like that. Yeah. It's the oldest football trophy.
It was good. It was actually good It was good football.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
And also too, shout out to Ferris State Bulldogs. They're Division II national champions.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Beat Valdosta or whatever, 52-17. Took them out to the woodshed. So nice job by Ferris State.
Yes.
Winning the Division II title, though.
We have a ton of friends that are alumni at Ferris State. I got a couple of buddies that played for that team back in the day. So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So
very nice.
Congratulations there.
Well, we got most of our teams here will all have a bowl game, even if it's
Eastern already lost their bowl game, but all your Division I schools in the state of Michigan went to a bowl, are going to a bowl game, or went to a bowl game already.
Well, pretty good.
So
anyway. All right. Well, we'll
take a quick break here. When we get back, we got still lots here to talk about. We'll get into that as well.
We'll get Curry, NBA, LeBron James. I mean, gosh, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
All sorts of crazy stuff out there. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. The listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your Old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the
hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com. Or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390. Or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. We get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving straight to the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want because we got what you need. Studio 57 serving straight to the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, guys. I know this is a sports show, but me and Moose are having a little talk here at halftime, and I'm gonna say thank you to all the Marvel fanatics who have been very nice on that spoiling shit, and just give me through the Christmas week. You know, give me that week between Christmas and New Year's. Don't say anything until New Year's. And I'll be happy. I love you guys. It's great. Me and Moose are gonna get together, check out a matinee. We're gonna watch it. But like, just please, I thank you for being as diligent as you've been thus far. Please continue not to spoil it for me. And I'm really not looking, so that helps too. Anyway, enough said on that. We got to get into all the sports stuff. The NBA, Steph Curry's on fire still, and guess who's coming back over there? And I heard someone say, "Oh, are the Lakers really a playoff team? Could they not make the play?" Hey, do you listen to the show? We're going to talk about it, Moose. Tell them.
Yeah, we've been saying this before the season started. They're a play-in team at best.
At
best. Getting a bunch of 80-year-olds on your team does not help you out there on it. Again,
this is not like, you know, Abbey assisted living versus you know, the police rec league or whatever for some kind of charity or some nonsense. But that's what it is. It's like a team full of geriatrics, you know.
It is.
And I got another one that, and I really hope we were all getting effing trolled on national television, but Kenny the Jet Smith referred to LeBron's cigar as disrespectful because he was smoking a cigar pregame. He said that shit on TV. Shut up.
Dude, did you ever watch football? I mean, there's pictures of Len Dawson smoking a cigarette during a game.
Wasn't there a story about Jordan when they were in the playoffs and he rolled up on the opposing team's bus and he was on his He was like on his Ferrari smoking a cigar and says, "Hey, which one of you guys got to cover me tonight?"
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar, being an asshole, and the guys were like, "He is." Yeah, I don't. He is. That wasn't disrespectful.
Yeah.
Come on, talk about like out of left field, dude. LeBron James. You know what would be? He wasn't smoking it on the floor
No.
and ashing in your cup, you dick. I mean, you know what? I am a firm LeBron. I'm not a hater, but I would say I'm a detractor.
Right.
Because I just feel like though he is a great player and a freak athlete, that the love for LeBron is so over the top. It's been so like, I don't want to call him overrated, but it almost makes him overrated. Because people put him at the GOAT position when he's not. He's like the Magic Johnson position.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, that is amazing. You know, so like let him be him and not do that. But he brings that upon himself with his dickiness and him wanting to be Jordan so bad, kind of, at least outwardly it feels that way. You know, so I get it. So I've been the guy to kill LeBron. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you ever do that? Dude, Canada Mike, didn't Sparky Anderson smoke cigars in the dugout? Dude, the players smoked cigarettes and shit in the
Jim Lehman
dugout.
had to sneak in there in the tunnel there to sneak us cigarettes because they wouldn't allow smoking in public places. And this is what? Only 10 years ago? I mean, it was
but prior to that but think about like the 70s and 80s.
Oh, Len Dawson was quarterbacking the Chiefs, and he's sitting on the bench during a game smoking a cigarette.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
Come on, did you watch the golf over the weekend? John Daly sitting there smoking cigarettes on the golf course.
Bam, that's what Canada Mike's
with his
saying.
really ugly pants and his, basically white trash Santa Claus beard.
Yeah. Well, Canada Mike's right on. You're right on.
Yes.
I read
it's
just
all
dumb.
back. I think he had a cigar lit up just as soon as the game's up. Buzzer goes off. Cigar's lit up.
I hope he was trolling everybody. I didn't see it. I just heard people talking about it on the radio.
Somebody
Made
posted
national buzz.
on there too. It's like, if all 60 of the guys in the prime, which one's off the bench? And they had obviously Steph, Magic, Kobe, LeBron, KD, and Shaq. And a couple of these idiots are going, well, Shaq's coming off the bench. I'm thinking, dude, he's the only center. Yeah. You have two small shooting guards with Kobe and Jordan. Do you bring one of those up? Because you got to start Steph.
Yep.
Or again, I'd almost say is you could put LeBron at the 4 and then have KD come off the bench.
That's what I would do.
On there.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, and just go with this little bit small ball because there's no way you're gonna leave Shaq off the.
And then one of those guys is bound to have an injury, right? Shaq,
I'm not taking Shaq off because you need a dominant 5. And again, with it now is he the. Yeah, he was a freak of nature and on there, and basically a force on there. I don't think he was the best true center out there to ever play. I still have to put Kareem and.
Kareem's one of the top.
And Wilt.
Kareem is, a top 7 or 8 player ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, if you make an argument to put him on your Mount Rushmore, then I'm not mad at you.
No, you can't argue. Again, the guy won 6 championships, 6 NBAs,
so,
and 3 NCAA championships in a row, because he would have had 4 if he could have played as a freshman with it. But I almost have to say it's people, again, I only saw through films of that, but you just look at Wilt was an athletic freak of nature as well. He was in people think, well, he was 6'9". No, he was 7'1", legit 7'1", 275, but he was freaking a freakish athlete as well.
Right.
I mean, he was just athletic. He was just like, holy crap.
Well, people couldn't, and you're talking about a time where athleticism was different too, right? So when he was that kind of athlete back then, when you just didn't have that many athletes.
Rules because of Wilt.
Yeah.
I mean, with it. Again, Wilt as a center was basically leading, in the top 3 for assists for 2 straight years.
Right.
Just to prove that he could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's under. I mean, with today's regimen and diets and everything, I mean, will be a monster, an absolute freak of nature
Absolutely.
with it. But yeah, I still say Shaq would over. I don't know, you got to start Shaq all the time because again, somebody that big and everything with it, especially with his days within Orlando, dude was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was freakish athletic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, it was what it is like when you're that big, it becomes harder to stay in shape. When he was younger, it was easier for him. So
Right.
he was definitely like, he could he could eat 4.5 chickens and still, and burn all that off. When you get to later in his, career, you could tell. It was the same thing kind of with Barkley, right? When he got later, all these bigger guys, when you get later in your career, it's hard to, to maintain
Right, you look
that
at that, and then you look at
athleticism.
well, then the honors. You look at some of these offensive linemen who have to basically it works their ass off. Then we maintain that mass and that bulk, and they retire. You go, crap, they drop 100 pounds. And you go, what the hell, man?
Yep. Because now they're working their body for another reason.
Yeah, they're not. Oh, I don't
not
need that
used to it.
size. I'm going to
Yep.
basically get myself more physically fit and be healthier.
Yeah.
You got Matt Burke and Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas is like, what the hell happened to you, man? You look like you lost half your size.
Right.
I mean, he's still a big. I mean, just
Yeah.
100, but instead of being 330, he's 230, but he's 6'6", 6'7".
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing too. And me and a buddy of mine that I work with, we're talking about it because we have a mutual friend that played for Ferris State, and he's a big dude. And then not now he doesn't play football. He obviously, and he hasn't played for a while. He played semi-pro ball, I think, for a little while after college, and then he got in the workforce, and that's where I met him. So we just ended up working together, and a buddy of mine that I work with now in the same business, same field, used to work with him when he was fresh out of done playing ball, and he was big. He's like, oh, and then I ran into him, and he just wasn't that big. And I'm like, well, because he doesn't need to be that big. Like, it doesn't help to walk around necessarily that big as you get later in your life or career, because it's not always easy to that's what I always kind of tell the old lady too, like, don't freak out until you're 50 and you're way overweight, and then start freaking out, because it becomes harder to get this stuff off.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. No, seriously, it becomes harder. Everything slows down.
It's like, look at what I've done. I mean, it's
and you've done a great job because you were post 50 and you had to lose.
Right.
And it becomes harder.
Oh,
when you were a young man, it was exponentially easier to cut that weight if you wanted to.
I mean, I can fluctuate up and down, and
sure,
no problem. Now it's like, now it's off. I'm like, it ain't coming back on.
It's my buddies that were fighters, MMA fighters, they cut weight like crazy. Like, they do wild, like, weight cuts up and down. And then when they get done with that shit, they're like, no. Yeah. And they usually settle in about 10 pounds or maybe 20 pounds over their fighting weight, because they would cut that much, and they'd walk around big and they'd cut. Walk around big and cut. Yeah. So then they get into a spot where they just be like in a range where they just be a little bit softer than they were, but at least they would be. So it goes both directions when it comes to that stuff. But like, you get to a certain age, it becomes a lot harder to try to get that thing off. So if you've got habits, so yeah, and then especially as a player where you're putting that physical beating on your body.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You don't want to you want the strength around all those joints, but you don't want the extra weight on it.
Right. You don't want the extra stress that you're putting on them just by doing simple stuff, walking.
Right.
And going upstairs and that.
And even these guys that get super jacked, I mean, you can't be like that forever. No. Like, these guys can't put their fucking hands in their pockets, and they get so jacked sometimes, and you can't live like that either. Yeah. So, like, it's not good for your body, later on.
With that, but yeah, I agree with it on there. But yeah, the NBA right now, I mean, like we said, the Lakers right now are
playing.
They're in the play-in. They're at number 7.
Yep. Well, and we talked about it, man, and I know I goofed in our kind of obnoxious return here to the second hour, but we've been talking about it since Jump Street. Just looking at the roster up and down. I mean, look at what Westbrook is and what Westbrook has to do just to I mean, he's got 84,000 turnovers, and I don't know if that game is something that that LeBron is ready to deal with, right? Like that doesn't. None of these things mesh well together.
No.
You know, when you start looking at it, it doesn't.
I think they went after the wrong bullet. I think they would have been better off going after Bradley Beal.
Maybe.
Because Westbrook's game is predicated on his explosiveness, and it's just not there, and he's sloppy with his ball handling.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing. Well, Brooklyn's not thrilled with the way Harden's been, handling it either. I mean, they're winning in that, but there's not happiness there either.
No.
With that, I mean, you look on there, and it's like, we'll see what happens there with Brooklyn. You're going to look at team actually surprise-wise is how well the Bulls have been playing, and Cleveland, really.
Yeah.
Shock on that. I mean,
Cleveland really has been the one for me. I mean, Chicago, they kind of give you little signs.
Well, they made some good signings in the offseason in it, and you look at the way Lonzo's playing in there with them. Then I think it was just the right. I think they added the right pieces in it, and it just seems to be a good cohesion with it.
Right.
On there now, like the Knicks and that, they're down in. Of course, now Derrick Rose is out 8 weeks now after his surgery and that. So we look at that. But yeah, I mean, out west, it's. I mean, Memphis. You're seeing John Morant. I mean, that's where you're seeing they're with doing with that.
Right.
But yeah, you got Utah, Golden State, Phoenix up top there. And yeah, I'm not surprised.
No, this is what we saw last year. It's just more of the same. Golden State, we knew once they started getting guys back and healthy, and they made a couple of moves that they made. I mean, they're ready to go. So once Clay's in the mix, like, what are you going to do with that team? So I think everything kind of is what we thought it would be. And I just I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like is anybody paying attention? Like I don't know. So I don't see anything changing a whole lot.
No.
Like as much as we talk about the NFL being all over the place, unless the NBA has some kind of similar situation with getting teams on the floor, which can happen.
Yeah.
If you can't get 8 players, then they're not going to let you play.
No.
So, I guess that's possible. But unless you start seeing like that, really, I think this is a chalk kind of situation. This is what we see in is what we getting. We usually wait till post Christmas. It's close enough, dude.
Right.
It feels like it, right? Like, has LA done either LA team done anything to make you concerned about them?
Concerned?
As far as them, no. I mean, as far as them being a contender.
Oh no, I don't see either of them being on there.
I wouldn't be worried about either of them teams.
Right.
If I'm in the West or whatever. So
I mean, realistically, seriously, the Lakers should have tried to make a move with it. And probably try to get Ben Simmons on here instead of Westbrook and made a trade.
Well, there was talk. I think
now they got nothing there that Philly wants.
Right?
What another with Westbrook? No, you can go to hell.
I think. Well, and I think people had kicked that idea around early on in the Ben Simmons debacle when he was trying to get out. When it was like, Doc Rivers says he didn't know if you could win with him type scenario, which isn't exactly what he said. But, I didn't see that as real, to be honest. So it is what it is. I'm telling you, Canada Mike's like, I'll go down there and play for any team that needs a player. I mean, it could come down to that where they,
yeah.
But the thing is they have the G League, so they've got a pool of players to pull from. I mean, the Lakers just brought up Isaiah Thomas.
You're right.
So, like, that's what's the thing with LA. Like, that's what they're going to be, because of the way the contracts and who they got.
They can get like an exemptions or whatever and sign for league minimum.
The
And
only thing they can really do is bring up G League guys, unless
Right.
somebody wants to do a fucking 1-for-1 on something. But there's but who for what?
No, there's
That's what
nobody
I'm
I
saying.
want.
Who for what? So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know who you would get involved and what would be. I just don't see it. So,
Yeah.
the NBA is just I don't know, to be honest, what kind of movement you're going to see. Regardless with that team, I don't know what they could do this year.
I know they expressed an interest in Jeremy Grant on there before he got hurt, but what the heck's the Lakers got that I want?
My thing is what could they possibly do that's going to make them significantly better?
Right. Because, again, I'm not trading in Grant for a late first rounder. It ain't happening. It better be basically I'll try to make you're going to have to get a three-way on there and we'll work out and take some dead contract. But I want a top 15 pick. I'm not giving away.
Yeah, but I just don't know how you get anybody else involved because you don't, like you said, now you have to have something that two teams want. You don't have something that one team wants. So I just don't even see how you three teams even
There's
possible.
with it, yeah. The Lakers, I see they're in, like, as we say, is purgatory.
Yeah, but absolutely.
You either be terrible or really good, because if you're that where you're just treading water, you're in no man's land.
Yeah, and that's
And
exactly
I don't even know
where
if
they're
they
at.
got even a first round draft pick after this for this year too, with all their moves and that they made. But yeah, we saw that coming on there, and again, we said it from the beginning. This is not going to end well.
No,
LeBron's not going to win another championship with the Lakers
I don't believe so.
under the certain iteration of them.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. I don't know what they would have to do, and I don't know if LeBron would be a part of it. You know what I mean? At that point, I think LeBron would be. I don't know how many years he's got left.
No.
Like, I'm not knocking him. He's still a good athlete. He's still playing well right now. But when you start talking about an 82 game season, 84, whatever it is, it becomes a thing for him now.
Yeah,
And he's played for a long time.
He's not playing 80 games anymore.
No.
He's not even playing 70 games.
Well, he
anymore.
can't because he's played 120 for so many years in a row.
Even though he said, well, he's only 38. Yeah, but his 38 is like 45. To you and me.
Yeah, because he's been playing for so long, and he's been in the postseason, damn near to the finals almost every year.
Yeah.
And so all those games, man, they just add up and add up and add up to multiple seasons at this point. Really, he's probably put in a whole extra season.
3 seasons, I want to say.
You know what I mean?
Over his career.
It's just crazy. So, yeah, how many playoff games does he have? I mean, so it's just I don't know how many years he's got and how they can reboot the team and have him be a part of that. Yeah, because what are you gonna do? I don't know. Yeah, once again, they're in that sports purgatory. So, yeah, right now it's been fun to watch Steph, and he got the 3-point thing, and that's all cool, and I'm digging it. But I like watching these other teams come up. I'm kind of over the whole Laker experiment anyway, so I like watching Utah. But my whole thing with Phoenix is, can they seal the deal? We've seen this song and dance before. Can they get it done in the end? I mean, we're going to talk about this all year, Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to be killing it, and they're going to continue to do well, and they're going to be the top of the West. And if they're not the number 1, they'll be the number 2 seed, and everybody will be talking about them. But my question is, can they finish it? Can they get it done? Because they have not been able to do so. Even historically, when they start out this good, like 25-6 or whatever the hell they are now, they don't, even when they've started off that good in the past, which hasn't, they get bow out in the conference finals. So, like, that's kind of been their MO, right? And well, it's been what's his name's MO for a while.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. And he seemed to shake it a little bit last year, but did he? Because they didn't get it done. He did play pretty well, But you need the rest of that team to step up. Booker, right?
Yeah.
Devin Booker. We want to see the guy that we saw last year during that stretch run there and into the playoffs, because that was that's going to be what they need to. They're going to need that and then some, because he didn't show up in the end either, and that seems to be a pattern for Phoenix. And I'd like to see that change. I'd like to see him. Not that I care if they win a championship, but it'd be nice to see him go through the battles and whatever, and maybe have it pay off. Even if they have heartbreak this year and get back next year, it would be a testament to them to be able to continue to fight through and get back. I think it is, just even if they get to the finals this year, kind of a testament to the resiliency that it takes to come back from like that long of a season, to be heartbroken and have to try to reboot and do it again, especially when you have a guy so late in his career that's leading the team.
LeBron James has played 266 games just in the playoffs.
Wow. So that's like 3 seasons. You were
3.5 seasons.
Yeah, you were right on.
3.5 seasons.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, 3.5 seasons under. So he's played, yeah. So essentially, he's 40-something years old in playing years because of all the years. I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah, he'd be 41, I guess. And most cats don't start in the league until they're a little older than he is.
1,300 games. That's insane.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of toll on that body.
And I don't care how much. And we talk about what kind of a physical freak he is, and that's no joke. But
yeah,
it's I don't care. You could be Superman. It's not. It's gonna wear on you eventually. So we'll see how it plays out. But I don't know. But in the East, NBA East, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Milwaukee can get back. I just think it's kind of a hard uphill climb.
It's struggling in that with them.
And so,
but I don't even know. Again, is it going to be Brooklyn down there, or is it going to be somebody else coming up? I mean, Milwaukee's.
Well, Brooklyn, said, okay, all right, Kyrie, we'll take you. We're so COVID hit, we'll just take
We'll
anybody.
let you play in the game. The games out that we're not in Brooklyn and that.
So stupid.
But yeah, you got the way the Bulls are playing, Cleveland, Miami.
Yeah, that's going to be more of a different situation. We talked about it is what it is in the West, but in the East,
I still think it's.
I
in
think
the
it's
West,
going to be a little
in the
tough.
West. It's all said and done. If Clay comes back and looks like Clay again, it's Golden State's to win.
Well, this is my whole thing with Klay Thompson. When he comes back, it's going to be hard.
It's going to take a couple months before him to get back in there. But you remember, you got the way Wiggins has been playing and Poole's been playing.
You're
also getting Wiseman back too from the injury in that too. So now you got a 7-footer that's going to be able to play, and then they can move Day back to the 4. So.
If everybody comes back healthy and they can mesh and blend without an issue, then you've got something here, because it could be a timing thing, right? Where if everybody comes back and is at full strength and playing at tip-top shape, in your stretch run before the playoffs, that's like all you can ask for. But you need the stars to align for all that to happen. So yeah, if all that happens, I'm with you. I just don't know if that's there's just so many different things that can. And then in the East, I just feel like it's a much more wide open thing. So
yes.
But in the West, I like the top 4. It could be any one of them, even if Clay comes back.
Yeah.
So
it could be.
You know what I mean? So, but you're right. I mean, if everybody's on all cylinders and everything's going, then we could see a team where you go, oh yeah, it's theirs to lose. But for now, I feel like the top 4 are, any one of them could take it over there in the West. And in the East, who even knows? But I mean, That's the whole thing about the West. It is kind of what it is, and I don't know that we know what it is in the East. It feels like I don't know what it is.
No.
It feels almost the opposite of each other there in that respect. Like, because that's what I said. You know, we usually wait till Christmas time ish, and you kind of get an idea of what they are. And excuse me, in the West that is more evident than ever, but in the East it's the opposite. So Brooklyn could. And Brooklyn should on paper.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So, yeah, if we got a Brooklyn Golden State final, I wouldn't, if you're making that bold-ass prediction that's.
And that'd be the dream scenario for if you're the NBA.
I think so. If the Lakers and the Clippers can't get involved, I think Golden State's it's still an LA market.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they're up the coast now, but they're still a big market.
Yeah.
And again, and it's a name.
Right.
You've got premier players with it. So,
sure.
And you still got a bigger market with it. So I think it's basically a premier. I think realistic is probably be a better matchup. But yeah, I don't see the Lakers getting beyond the first round, even if they get to that.
Yeah, no, like I said, they're a play-in team if they're lucky.
I mean, I would have said the same thing with Denver, but then losing Tracy Porter for the year with the back injuries, which kind of knew that was always that hint of that. Even when he coming out from college, that there was always that back issue with it, and that's what it's come out this year with it. And again, they still got Jokic, they got still Jamal Murray, but they're not the same as with when all of them are together. It's on it, but yeah, we'll look at. Long as Chris Paul stays healthy, Phoenix has got a shot in the regular season, but we'll see in the playoffs. But Utah's one not to sneeze at either.
That's what I'm saying. Those top four to me.
Yeah, Memphis is not one either, too, and honor with it. I mean,
nobody wants to see Memphis as far as I'm concerned. It's one of those. They're just an underrated team, and I don't. If you get them in the right seeding, they could be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the days back when they had Zach Randolph and you had. Gasol. I mean, Paul Gasol.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you didn't want to play Memphis. That was that one team. You go, crap. I don't want. And then Mike Conley leaving the point today, you didn't want to play them. And now Conley's not with Utah. Yeah, you don't want to play Utah either right now because they play defense.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Morant. He's playing with the honor. He's definitely. But yeah, it's one of those teams too. You just they're gritty and gutty, and of course I kind of like that. So, but yeah, it's one of those ones I normally would have a feel on it, and this is a little bit more wide open than we thought it'd be.
Yeah. So that's too funny. So, as I watch this goofy stuff, CM Punk is wrestling with Sting in a tag team situation. And Sting's got his logo painted on his face, and then he's got the Surfer Sting gimmick on his face. And they're all, he's got the Surfer Sting gimmick total set up. He's got the tights and everything. So they're all like fanboying on each other. What the fuck? What am I watching?
So we got this, and then I think Frank Gore finally became unconscious or conscious after being knocked out. Did you see that one?
Okay. The knockouts this weekend have been off the hook. I don't care. Dude, Teddy Two Gloves, you don't tell me that wasn't nasty?
Oh, God, yes. How did that one was like...
I mean, he just face planted. Oh, that was rough to watch. The roughest one was Tyrone Woodley taking another one from Jake Paul. I mean, he put him down I'm like, okay, now this guy wants to fight Masvidal or whatever. How about you get yourself, since you're boxing, right? You're gonna have how about you not get washed up CTE patients and out of shape wrestlers.
Yeah.
And
fight a legit
boxer in your weight class.
Right.
Not a old NBA player.
Right.
An undersized one at that. Just and then have like a real boxing match against a real boxer in your weight division that's had you're claiming you're 5-0, so let's find another fighter with 5 fights.
Right.
That's a boxer that boxes in your weight class, and let's have a discussion before you start asking Masvidal. Now, he offered Masvidal $5 million plus a portion of the pay-per-view buys, which would be off the hook. So if that's a legit offer, that fight could happen, because I beat his ass for $5 million plus pay-per-view.
Right.
Because you could pull in another whatever 40 million on the pay-per-view, and then your portion could be another 2 or 3 million off of that, and you could end up with an $8 million payday. And if I'm Masvidal, I'm going to box with him, but I'm not going to box with him. I'm going to be dirty. I'm not going to come in there and stick and move. I'm going to come down in my MMA stance, where I box in my MMA stance, where I cover more and I'm down lower, and then I'm just going to move forward, right? And I just need the shot, because I'm not a boxer. So if I stand back here and try to box him, I'm going to get beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got to get inside his reach, and I got to fight him inside, and I got to fight him dirty. I got to hit him in punches in places he don't want to be punched in, and I got to be real tight, and I got to be real grimy, and I got to hand fight and whatever I got to do, tie him up and catch him on the comeback, whatever. And so I don't know if Masvidal wants to do all that, but to me, once again, if you're fighting your fight and taking their fight away from them, you're not fighting somebody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know what you are? You're Ted Nugent.
Yes.
You're Ted Nugent. You went out, you caught a bunch of deer, you put them in your backyard, you hand fed them, and then you went in the back and capped them in the fucking head and said, hey, look, I'm a hunter.
Right.
That's what you did. Because now they don't even have the skills to know to stay away from humans.
Right, because you're hand feeding them.
Right. And then they don't have the ability to get away because they're in a fenced-in area. And then you acted like you fucking did something. So that's what you did. That's what you're doing. That's who you are. You're Ted Nugent.
Yeah. Ted, you want to improve me?
No.
Go with that bow and go after a grizzly.
Yes.
Because you know what you're going to be? You're going to be Leonardo DiCaprio in the river, and that bear's going to fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, after all the advantage for this long and all this, you need to go out there with your bare fucking hands, okay? And that's what you need. So as far as I'm concerned,
get the days when I go deer hunting in the pit and you come in there, did you catch a deer? Yep, I jumped out of a tree, tackled him, roped him up. I rode him to school today. No, you don't catch a deer, you kill a deer. Catch a deer.
there's this stupid meathead on the internet, and but he did this. He's got this thing. He's like, back when men did men things or whatever, and he's got this giant harpoon basically, and he just launches it 20 yards into the side of a fake deer carcass or whatever, and it's like, yeah, you have to do that, basically, is what you need to do now.
You got to pull something like in Stallone did in Rambo, where he took this big knife and he tied it up to a damn stick and basically killed that boar and and basically quartered it, and then he's sitting there over the spit. That impressed me with that. Okay,
yeah. That's what I feel like. He's way past. I'll box anyone for good money. I won't last long, but the payout would be fantastic. I get free health care. Well, only when it comes to the fight would you be covered as far as that goes. So you'd have that in your favor too. And I don't have to pay tax. Oh yeah, well that's true. When you're in Canada, Mike, you do have health care and you don't have to pay taxes on your income, I guess. But if the fight was over here, you're paying it. So doesn't matter where you're at. So, but I would take the payout. I'd get knocked out for the payout.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not seriously. Like, you offer me $5 million, you don't even have to put the pay-per-view in. $5 million, I go in and get knocked the fuck out.
I know this is not sports related, but you hear you know what the biggest payout of the damn year was? Probably the freaking decade. The ruler of Dubai got divorced, and he's got to pay his old lady $700 million. I'm sorry.
That is why
G is going to disappear somewhere.
that is where the phrase "cheaper to keep her" came from. Okay, cheaper to keep her.
You're the ruler of a country. I think you can basically off that.
If you can off Saudi nationals and all this other nonsense and whatever and
Well, it's the same thing, it's
consulate,
Dubai.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you can off all these like public figures, I think you could get rid of your wife.
Yeah. Friend his wife is like, I'm out of the country, man. I want my money, and I'm gonna have bodyguards around me 24/7.
I don't know. Whatever. To me, it's all madness.
I mean, it's almost like Bezos having to give his away like $90 billion.
But to me, it's all crazy, dude. I just don't get how they draw this kind of money. I know with sponsorships and TV and pay-per-view, but it's just so amazing that they can, somebody that doesn't, I get that the dude's been training, but like that's kind of a secondary thing. And he hasn't fought anybody, and it's all about the circus. It's not about the fight. It's not about any of that. So like, don't give me that shit. Like, you could talk about, oh, well, he's been training, he's a legit fighter and whatever. No, he's not a legit fighter as long as he... This is the whole thing that bothers me about Mayweather is like he is a legit fighter and he does that shit and it's annoying. Now for a fucking YouTuber
you gotta
to come
watch
out here,
that Action Park on there. It's a documentary on the world's most dangerous amusement park on there.
Oh, yeah?
You gotta watch it.
Okay.
The name of the thing is Class Action Park.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I've watched it.
Yeah, Class Action.
It was on Netflix. I'm like, holy shit.
Okay.
It is I know. I just saw it. I'm like, oh my god, you got it, because it's like people are like bones are breaking on each rise.
Oh my goodness, no way. Well, you know what happens? These idiots go on there and go, yeah, well, it can't be that bad. They wouldn't let you ride it.
It would be really cool if you did this and this and right. You know, here it is on a napkin. Build this. I don't think you're qualified. You kind of run the place, but are you an engineer? Because this is not. We can't make this right. It'll kill somebody.
Oh my goodness.
Just build it.
All right. We gotta kill people's budgets here. We gotta mess up.
We're not even doing pickups because you're in the playoffs. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, your fantasy thing. Yeah, no, we're definitely not doing that.
So.
All right, Moose. Don't bet the farm, guys, because you'll have no cows, chickens, or goats, or pigs, or nothing.
Right.
So for fun, this is all wagertainment, and hopefully we don't shit the bed.
Yep, we've got 4 days of football, and this is wonderful here. So yeah, you don't even have to deal with your relatives on Christmas on there. Why? Because there's NBA and NFL action on there.
I know.
So we got football tomorrow night. We've got we got San Francisco on the road. They're at Tennessee on there, and this is Frisco is a 3.5-point favorite. Tennessee's been really looking not so great over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, and my take with Frisco is they're doing the things we talked about, that travel.
Yeah, they run, they play defense.
Yeah, so right now I'm on the bandwagon. I'm gonna take San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I think definitely like that one. So we got Frisco on there, and then we got no games on Christmas Eve. So I guess you're stuck dealing with your family on Christmas Eve. Don't worry.
No, I'm hiding away and pretending like I don't know that people exist.
All right, so Christmas Day we got 2 games. We got Cleveland Covids. They're an 8.5 point.
The Cleveland Covids.
The Browns are 8.5-point dog to Green Bay. It's at Lambeau on Christmas Day, 3:30 start.
Oh, it'll be snowing. It'll be a winter wonderland and
on the frozen
Santa and the frozen tundra. And Santa Rogers will be delivering gifts to all the Green Bay fans.
Yes,
in the form of victory.
Yes. Yeah, Green Bay's going to get the home field advantage, it looks like now, and they're going to win this one. So we got also a Christmas night on there. So after you're home and you're relaxing, you just fire up the fireplace and kick on the NFL on there. We got Indianapolis is on the road at Arizona. They're a 1.5 point dog on the road. India.
Dude, they just got to stop being cute with Carson Wentz. They need to treat him kind of Tannehill-ish. They need to run that ball and pound that rock and win that game that way. They do that, they win that game. I'm going to take Indy, but they need to do that shit.
Yeah, because Arizona, man, it's doing the annual December fall apart clip.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You lost me when the Lions, like, dismantled you in every aspect of the game.
Yes.
And so, like, you're just not in a good place right now. And like I said, if Indy does what they should do, what they're good at, and don't get cute and try to make Carson Wentz something that he frickin' isn't, and they run that ball, they can get it done.
Yes, because we saw that you can run it on Arizona. So yeah. All right, we got for the December 26th, Boxing Day for all those that are from the old British Commonwealth in Canada. Michael know that because they do celebrate still Boxing Day in Canada. Your Detroit Lions are on the road. They're a 3.5 point dog at Atlanta. And this Lion team basically now does not have the first pick overall, and who knows, they may screw this up and win another one.
No,
I got Atlanta winning this one on here. I think Detroit. It's a 3.5. Detroit's 3.5 point dog. I think Detroit loses. I'd almost take Detroit to points, but I think Atlanta wins this one.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's going to win it. I think that 3.5 is right on point. That's where they get you on that half a point. I think it will be 3 or 4 point victory. So that's like right there. It is what it is, guys. The Lions, they're playing hard for a coach. I'll give them that because the guy's a goof. But it's just not enough, man. They just can't continue to be as bad as they are. And it just really took a gift from
Minnesota.
From what's his name? Well, no, from Arizona.
Oh yeah, Arizona
to win.
You know what? Down there was, of course, if you bet on the Lions and took the points this year, you know what you are? You're 10-5 against the spread.
Oh well, yeah. If you're taking the point, sure. Yeah, but
so if you bet on, believe it or not, if you bet on the Lions on there, you actually win.
Yeah, if you're taking the points, you're taking the Lions.
So on there, but yeah, I got Atlanta winning this one on there. I think you think Atlanta wins by a field goal with it, but yeah, I think and Atlanta's playing a lot better than people gave them credit for on there. We thought they were going to be absolute garbage.
Yeah, no, they are. They definitely an upgrade from what we thought they were going to be for sure. Overachieving, so to speak, but it's easy to overachieve against the Lions, though, too. So they should continue that this week, I'd imagine. But it's cool, man. Detroit will get. They don't need a top pick. There's no quarterback. They don't need a.
No.
So they can fall down. If they can.
Again, you're number 2. You're still going to get your defensive end. It's one of the 2 you guys you like, so don't worry about it.
Sure. Yeah, you'll probably land at 2 or 3. So.
And if you want to trade out, you can trade out.
Sure.
It might be easier to trade it from 2 down to like 5 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah, potentially.
All right, so we got next game. We got Baltimore on the. They're on the road against Cincinnati. They're actually a 2.5 point dog on it. I think Lamar Jackson's supposed to play this week, but you know what? I'm still. I think Cincinnati's going to win this one again.
I tend to agree with you. These guys play each other really tough, and but I don't know. Like you said, just because he's back doesn't mean that he's.
They actually might have been better with Huntley because it looks like he was a better passer.
Well, with Huntley too, I'd rather take 100% Huntley than like a 50%
Lamar Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to lead towards Cincinnati, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Baltimore win it. But I'll take Cincy. I'm kind of with you on that. I just feel like Baltimore just isn't quite right for some reason. And you know what? Not to kill Harbaugh, but some of those decisions, man.
Them 2 points.
I mean, they were like not quite as bad as Pete Carroll, but. Pretty rough time management. I tell you one thing
opportunity. We'll get into that. There was another coach under there made some bonehead decisions and actually cost them the damn win on there. We'll get into that a little bit later with it. But yeah, I mean Harbaugh. I understand. Let's go for the 2 points on there. Pittsburgh, perfect play call. Just did that again. Andrews just couldn't hang on to the ball
Sure.
this weekend, and not as good on there, but with it on there.
Well, is it the perfect play call? Because he was blanketed, so it wasn't like it was an easy catch.
No, against
it did
Pitt-
hit him in his hand.
Oh, Pittsburgh. No, this
Yeah.
one on was not as good.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good. It was right on where the Pittsburgh one. He was wide open. He just didn't hang on to the ball.
Sure.
So we got the Rams also 1 o'clock coming out east in it. They're playing Minnesota. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. Rams are starting to look pretty good. Freaking Cooper Kupp's got 1,500 yards receiving already this year, and
Well, he's got he's gonna break the single season reception record or something like that.
receptions, and he's up there. He has a couple good games. He's
And that's a
in
Calvin
striking
Johnson
the Calvin
record.
Johnson, so he's in striking distance of Calvin.
Well, that's what's funny too, because he's got a similar. They have a person in common there.
Yeah, and then Stafford, he's the youngest quarterback to get 50,000 yards and everything. So, with it, but yeah, I think the Rams will take care of the Vikings. Vikings, Jesus,
Yeah,
Mike
they're
Zimmer
so
is dead
wishy-washy.
man walking.
I feel like it. Yeah, they're just so up and down and so wishy-washy, and they're just the Rams. They're not killing it offensively, but they're playing all phases really well.
Yes,
So even though they don't blow you away with this crazy the greatest show on turf type scenario, they just kind of play a really well-rounded game.
yeah.
So I mean, right now I think if they start kind of getting healthy and get things right, they could be on track right at the right time.
Yes.
So
All right, we got another 1 o'clock game. Buffalo is on the road at New England. They're a 2.5-point dog on this one. Again, I'm still not buying in. But wait, Buffalo, just this team has been disappointing. They're not playing well on there.
every time I have some faith in them, they disappoint me. I don't
Yeah,
know
they
what to
won
say.
last week, but again, you played garbage. Now you're back to New England on that. At New England?
Oh, yeah, mainly because it's a home game for New England. I'm going to take New England.
Yes.
I don't like the situation. I'm not sold on New England either, per se. But I just think when it comes down to, the little nuances and fundamentals, they're just so much
Belichick
cleaner.
knows Buffalo.
Yeah, and they're just not going to turn the ball over and things like that. So they're not going to beat themselves, I don't think, as to where Buffalo seems to have a habit of doing that. And that's kind of where I fall on it. So I'll take New England.
All right, so we got another game here. Who if you have to watch it, you're going to lose on this one.
Yeah.
This might be a game where actually is, if a certain team wins, we might get the number 1 pick back on there. Jacksonville is on the road against the Jets. Jacksonville's a 2.5-point dog on the road on this one. Who's going to win? I don't really care. But both teams
Jets,
are garbage.
They're so bad. Is it addition by subtraction and they just win that rally game, right? Is this the first game since?
No, because they lost last week.
Oh,
to-
yeah, that's
to
right.
Houston on there.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I think
If you lose to Houston, you're just gonna lose again.
I'm gonna say I think Jacksonville wins this game against the Jets because again, both teams are just garbage.
They are. I'm gonna take the Jets just so we have something different.
All
How
right.
about that?
All right, yeah, we got. And here's another game on there. Giants are on the road against Philly. They're a 10.5-point dog. Yeah, because Giants are terrible.
Giants are terrible. Philly isn't great, but they're gonna. You know what? They could F around and win the division.
Yeah, they're going. They could win the division if Dallas falters. They're
Yeah.
going to honor because they got. I think they got to play Dallas like one of the last games of the season.
Yeah, that usually
If
works
Philly's
that way.
running again, is what they're doing. They know they can run the ball.
Well, they're doing what they're trying to play to their strengths, which is what I commend them for at this point. You're playing to your strengths, and you're self-aware at least enough to know what those are. So for the most part, yeah, they're sneaking games, but when they start getting against elite teams, it's going to be embarrassing.
Yes.
I think, but that's all.
All
another
right, so we
story.
got Tampa Bay on the road. Also 1 o'clock. They're 11.5-point favorite against Carolina. They actually just signed Le'Veon Bell on there because Connor Godwin's out for the season with a torn ACL. Even though we didn't think they were going to bring Antonio Brown back, they need to bring Antonio Brown back because they don't have another body on there. But again, it's Carolina. Give me Tampa.
Yeah, I was about to say that's Brady got shut out for the first time and however, and guess who he gets to take it out on?
Yeah, Carolina.
Because that's what happens. That's what he does.
Yeah, he
and
said
it's not like he's got some elite defense there, so he's going to come out and crush them guys.
All right, next game we got last of the 1 o'clock games. The Chicago Bears on the road. They're going to Houston. They're actually
Oh
a
my
9.5
God.
They're a 9.5 point favorite. I don't think the Bears can score 9.5 points.
Yeah, how are they a 9.5 point favorite? Did they take points away? I mean, I can see Houston getting negative points somehow. I mean, who the fuck is going to watch this game?
Oh my God! If I'm a Bears fan, I'm not watching.
If I'm a Houston fan, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Who's watching this game? When is it on?
Why? Who's it? What's it on? It's on. I think it'll be a regional one. Who's covering it? I have no idea.
So it's going to be like a 4 o'clock
It'll be
Fox
like
game
it's
or
a
something?
1 o'clock Fox or CBS game. It's going to be basically the worst announcing crew that either network is calling this game.
We are available. Let us call it because I will absolutely make a name for myself on that fucking game. You kidding me?
Just pay our fines.
Yeah. You do play-by-play. I'll do color. I already do color commentary, so I'm ready.
All right, there we go.
You do play-by-play. I'll do color.
We'll do the game
murder
cheap.
it.
Trust us.
We'll do it. We'll do it cheap.
We'll do it cheap.
Yes, just have just have like some catering and we're good.
Yes.
Take care of our tickets and all our shit there. Have catering taken care of and just get us in the building. Shit, we can do it from here.
Yeah, just cater it.
Yeah, just
Cater it.
and get the wire. You just come in here and hardwire off the studio.
I just want a couple of good bottles of bourbon on there that I can't get here, and that's call it a day.
Yeah, you just have to come in and set up a.
And you know what? We want some cohibas.
Yeah, there you go.
We want a box of cohibas.
We'll work
and
for cigars and whiskey.
There we go. Trust me, we'll do a better job who's covering this game.
We do better than Monday Night Football. ESPN is horrible.
They're terrible. All right.
All right, moving
Who's
on.
going to win? We didn't even say who's going to win this game.
Who is it?
Chicago and Houston.
Oh, geez, nobody wins this game. This game is a tie.
I'm going to say Bears are going to win this one on it barely.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Bears.
You know what?
yeah.
I take Houston in the 9.5 because I don't think Chicago can
Yeah,
score.
no, they can't score 9.5
9.5 points.
It's going to be like 6-3.
All right, so we got first of the 4:05 game, the only 4:05 game today. We got the Chargers are on the road. They're going up to Seattle. They're actually a 7.5 point favorite against the Seahawks on there. Yeah, I think the Chargers win this one.
Yep.
Staley,
Seahawks are a mess.
The Seahawks are missing. If Staley kicks one of those field goals instead of going for it on 4th down to 3 times, they win that game last Thursday.
Yep.
One field goal.
Yep.
They would have kicked 3 of them. They win by 12 points. And this game's, 9 points on there. It's on there. Yeah, the Chargers should have won that game.
Yep.
And they let them stick around because the coach is like, oh, I got to go for the field goal. No.
Stop.
It's the first quarter. Kick the field goal.
Yep.
But I think I think the Seahawks are just terrible. And
No, well, they're all falling apart. And, we talked about it.
Metcalf's not happy. He's happy. He's pouting and whining.
Well, this is the whole thing. If you're going to have multiple people pouting, it may not be Russ that's leaving.
I think it's Pete.
I do too. We said it already last week, but yeah.
All right, we
anyway.
got another the 4:25 games. We got Pittsburgh on the road against Kansas City. Casey's going to put a whooping on them.
Yep.
Casey looks like they got everything starting to roll now.
Yep.
Defense is looking really good for the last 6 weeks or so, and they figured out on how to get just score some points and move the ball.
Well, and Ben Roethlisberger's got concrete boots on
God,
right
yes.
now, so it's like he'll just be a target back there. I expect a good defensive effort from them as well. So for a team that is not necessarily known for that, but. They have turned that up this year, so yeah, I'm with you, Casey.
All right, so we got another the 4:25 game on here. We've got Denver on the road at Vegas. They're actually a 1.5 point dog against Vegas.
Yeah, they got a quarterback situation,
Yep.
and a lot of other things. I'm going to take Vegas because of that situation. But as crazy as this world has been, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna still take Denver because I think Vegas is still just terrible.
Oh, dude landed on his head. Is he dead? Is he dead? I don't know how he's not dead. If you guys don't watch AEW wrestling, I don't know how this guy's not. I don't know how MJF's not dead. And he got up for another spot after that, but he got torpedoed over the top, and I don't know how he's not dead.
All right, so the Sunday night game we got. I'm surprised. We got the Washington football team is on the road against Dallas.
Short turnaround, they're gonna get smoked.
Oh God, yes. We're getting. Yeah, it doesn't matter if Hankey's on there. Yeah, give me Dallas.
Short turnaround, they're gonna get smoked.
Just
on Dallas, and if Dallas does anything, but
Vegas
smoking,
is on a short turnaround too. They come because they played Cleveland on there. So.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I said the only reason is because of the Teddy Two Glove situation over there. So
we got Monday night. We got Miami on the road against New Orleans on this one. Miami is a 3.5-point dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
New
Orleans, it's not pretty, but
they're winning when they get on there. But yeah, I mean, Miami's not good enough to beat New Orleans.
No.
So there we go. Go the opposite.
Yeah.
You should be good. Actually,
right.
You've got only 2 dogs. I've got 4.
You got 4 dogs.
Doggies.
That's a lot of doggies. But the doggies have been winning. I mean, it's not like there hasn't been surprises or underdogs. There's been tons of them. So hopefully you got the right ones is the thing. Holy shnikes. It's hard to tell right now. I mean, it's just been something special.
Yeah.
So we're going to have what are we going to – so when we get back here next week –
what the hell? I screwed this all up.
What are we going to have going for us? What do we got to look forward to this week besides the NFL games? We got any bowl games worth watching this week? No?
Not coming up right now.
No,
we don't.
all those. No, they got all the little ones out of the way. All the good ones are the following week. Or they start anyway, right?
Well, I really screwed this up when I typed it in there. We got to go on there. Let me fix this because I'm looking. What the fuck did I do, man? I'm like terrible this week.
What'd you do? You messed up your little...
Oh, my God, yes.
What is wrong? What? I have to try to remember what I picked. I don't even remember what I pick half the fucking
I got
time.
it.
Okay. Just got to get back there and fix it.
I got it. It's just one game.
Oh, okay. Well, that I can tell you what I picked one game. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, did I pick that team? God, I can't believe I picked that fucking team to win. It's like how horrible it's been. It's not easy pick'ems.
All right. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Do your thing. It's no big deal.
All right. So we got, actually, it's Chicago versus Seattle on there. Seattle is a 7.5-point favorite on it. Yeah, I see that. I don't see the Bears beating Seattle in Seattle.
No.
And then we've got Houston playing on.
Oh, you got those mixed up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Houston's
playing the Chargers, and Houston is a 9.5-point dog on
the Chargers. Yeah.
So yeah, we got that.
Pretty obvious.
You know what I think?
Well, how did you do that? And you got me thinking.
I was typing it in, and I don't know what the hell I did.
I was like thinking, wait a minute, I don't even know. I didn't realize.
I got Seattle beating the Bears. The Bears are terrible.
Yeah, the Bears are bad. Yeah.
So that was it. That was all again. So
we got.
I got 3 dogs. You got 1 dog.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that. Yeah, I think the Chargers versus Houston is a no-brainer, and Seattle against the Bears should be a no-brainer as well.
It's just some of these games, it's like, I can't watch them.
I won't watch it again.
Some of them I just can't. I can't do it. But
the games of the week will be Pittsburgh and KC, and then Vegas and Denver. I think KC's gonna just.
But I mean,
and even that's not even. There's not really one.
But you know what? There's going to be games that'll be good because, God damn it, that stupid Washington Philly game was pretty good till the end.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. It wasn't like it was kind of sloppy, but I mean, it was entertaining compared to the other game.
Yeah,
everybody thought the Rams Seattle game or whatever the hell it was going to be the game.
No,
and it wasn't really. So, I mean, I don't know. You never know when you're gonna get a good game, but it is nice. I know that we don't want things turned around and moved and shifted, and the COVID thing's a nightmare. But it was kind of nice catching some of these standalone games where you can kind of watch more of the games.
Yes,
I cheated. I I was able to watch both games. Depending on your market, you only got one because Fox is not supposed to benefit by being able to have them. That's why they were on at the exact same time,
Right.
Because of their TV deals, they can't benefit by having two standalone games.
I kind of had one game on, and I
So-
was looking at the other one on my phone through Yahoo Sports, so I was able to,
Oh, gotcha. You
Yeah.
cheated that way. So what I did is with my streaming service here, I just did a picture-in-picture, and I put one game on one and one on the other, and I just watched them both at the same time. I kind of like that. It's fun. I don't think that they should do a Tuesday game, guys. I don't know what your take is, but that's not me. I'm cool with Thursday. Was probably those games aren't always great. I sure don't want to add Tuesday to the mix. We want good football, yeah. And speaking of good things, I hope you guys get some good food, good presents, good family time, good relaxation. I hope you're getting away from work. I hope you're getting your mind right. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're safe. We love you guys, man. You guys have been awesome for 15 effing years. And we appreciate y'all. And we're going to get ready. We got one more of the year, right, Moose?
Yeah.
And we're going to have some fun with it.
Yes, we are. We have
So-
a year-end extravaganza.
Yes.
So we'll be on there. Enjoy us. We're probably going to drink a couple cocktails.
Yes.
And then have it. We'll do our on there. We'll kind of do our best stories of the year.
We'll be goofy.
We'll break down the bowl champion playoffs there, the semifinals, and we'll give you our picks on that. And we'll talk to some of the better bowl games out there that are coming out there as well. So again, join us next week on here. And again, have a Merry Christmas, guys.
Love you guys.
Peace out,
Peace.
brothers.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.